Momentum is a product of motion, speed, and force. It can work for you or against you. Sometimes things happen unexpectedly and momentum is sent out of control. The heavier the object, the more force it gains by going faster. If control slips a little, the object becomes a moving hazard. People get hurt or killed, and lives change forever. One of the objects that can turn lethal is a forklift. You operate a machine weighing thousands of pounds that can carry tons more. Even moving slowly, it builds up tremendous force as you travel. Make a wrong move, and the load can go one way, your truck another. If the truck and load get out of control and someone is in the way, it's like swatting a fly with a sledgehammer. Forklift operators need to be as alert as drivers of other types of vehicles. Trouble is, when you do something every day, you get used to it, and complacency can set in. Every day and every load start to feel the same. Operate long enough without a bad accident, and you'll begin to believe it will never happen to you. But it can. Every day, people are injured, even killed, in forklift accidents. Some operators aren't well trained. Some forget what they know. And some forget to be alert all the time. This training program is designed to remind you of the great responsibility you accept when you are certified to drive a forklift. We'll go over how to operate a forklift in hazardous situations, such as avoiding slippery surfaces, operating in congested and cluttered areas, working around pedestrians, and carrying irregularly shaped loads. We'll also cover driving on potentially dangerous areas, such as loading docks, ramps, and inside trailers. First, the slippery surface. Roads and floors become slick for a variety of reasons. Rain, spilled lubricants, even wax buildup can cause forklifts to slip. Remember that forklifts were built to carry weight. They don't have the mechanics or traction to stop easily, especially on slick surfaces. If you see a slippery area, don't drive on it if you can avoid it. If you can't go around it, stop and spread dry sand or absorbent clay over the area. Then, cross the area slowly and cautiously. Report the incident to your supervisor as soon as possible, so someone else won't face a slippery surface hazard. Even the overhead can be a problem. Know the height of your overhead guard and keep your load under that height. Be sure doors and ceilings are tall enough for you and your load. Give yourself room to maneuver and be sure you're carrying the load as close to the ground as possible. Losing a load is not only unprofessional, it's dangerous. Sometimes you'll work in cluttered areas and narrow aisles. Being prepared is the professional way to operate. Making a walking inspection of the route you'll travel can prevent you from driving over debris or into holes. Pick up clutter whenever possible, and don't try to push piles out of your way with the forklift. A bump or sudden stop can unseat or damage your load. Pedestrians can create another hazard. Just like on the road, pedestrians always have the right of way. They may or may not be watching for you, so you'll always need to watch for them. Pedestrians may not understand that a forklift can't stop on a dime, so be sure they're clear of your route. Ask people to keep a safe distance from you when you're picking up or putting down a load. Co-workers are injured and killed every year when a forklift wheel hits a slippery spot, a load topples, or the operator loses sight of the guy on the ground and hits him. Check your company's SOP, the Standard Operating Procedures, for rules about working around other drivers or pedestrians. You may be required to have a spotter or guide walking in front of you to make sure the way is clear. Even if the guide isn't required, alert pedestrians and other drivers at blind corners, doorways, and aisles by sounding your horn before you enter the section. Use corner mirrors whenever they're available. Make wide-angle turns and keep your speed down. If you're working in an area with a lot of other powered industrial trucks or other vehicles, follow appropriate traffic rules and posted warning signs. These rules and signs are there to keep you and co-workers safe. If you disobey these rules, your chances of having an accident increase. Here are another couple of basic rules of the road. Maintain a safe distance from other forklifts, around 3 truck lengths. When cars fail to maintain a safe distance, an accident can occur. Keep back. Don't tailgate another forklift. It can easily result in a rear-end collision. Avoid trying to pass a forklift that's in motion. You can't always anticipate the action of another driver. Look over both shoulders before backing up and sound your horn if your vehicle isn't equipped with an audible alarm for reverse gear. No matter which direction you're heading, keep your head and eyes facing the direction of travel. Remember, your forklift isn't a passenger car or an elevator. Only approved platforms properly installed may be used to lift people. Even if you have an approved platform or basket, don't allow personnel to ride in them when the forklift is moving. Lower the worker to walk to the next location and then be lifted again. Anyone using your lift platform should be tied off. The only authorized rider on a forklift is the certified operator. Never allow personnel to ride on your forks, an empty pallet, on the load, or on any other part of the forklift. Forks can be slippery. Pallets can shift. The load could become unstable. A rider can be knocked off when you approach a wall or door. What if the load is out of balance? First, try to rearrange it to make it more stable. If that's not possible, place the heaviest point as low and near to the face of your forks as you can. Traveling with an irregularly shaped load in the wrong place on your truck can also end in dumped product. You may have to work in an area with speed bumps or railroad tracks. Be very careful crossing these. Don't drive straight across them. Cross them slowly at about a 45-degree angle. This way, both wheels don't hit the bump at the same time, which helps you avoid the risk of jamming the forks into the ground or rails. It also minimizes the possibility of sliding and losing a load. With both drive wheels off the grade, you can lose steering control. Any seasoned forklift operator knows you face a lot of unexpected things while you're driving. Things such as holes, sand, gravel, lubricants, wet floor, and debris all require special attention. Loading docks, trailers, and ramps can be especially hazardous for forklift operators. Before you enter a trailer or rail car, be sure it won't roll while you're working on it. If the trailer is connected to the tractor, be sure brakes are set on the tractor and wheels are chocked on both trailer and tractor. Use a dock lock to hold the trailer to the dock. Before you enter a trailer that is not connected to a tractor, be sure it's supported with hack stands. Even a safe load can cause the trailer to tip without the anchoring of a tractor. In addition to making sure that a trailer won't roll, be sure the inside will hold your truck and your load. Look to see if the flooring is loose or soft, or if it's covered with debris which could conceal a weak floor. Check the maximum weight the trailer can hold. If the trailer isn't designed to take the weight of the loaded forklift, or if the flooring looks unsafe, tell your supervisor. Check the height of the trailer's entrance. As you travel over the crest of the bridge plate, you don't want the additional height of the bump to cause the mast or load to hit the top of the trailer. Flatbed trailers need to have safety sidebars as guides to keep the forklift from going over the side. If you're using a bridge or dock plate to connect the dock to the trailer, always check the bridge or dock plate you'll be driving on to see if it's secure and designed to support the weight of your forklift and load. The angle of the bridge or dock plate should be as flat as possible. Too much of an arch may cause the forklift or load to tip over. Drive slowly on bridges or dock plates and keep plenty of clearance on both sides. Avoid accelerating rapidly on the bridge plate. Quick movements may cause the wheels to slip off the ramp, or the forklift could drift toward the edge of the bridge and slip off. The plate must be clear of oils, ice, snow, or debris. Exercise extra caution when driving on a ramp. At the bottom of the ramp, lift the load slightly to avoid hitting or scraping the surface of the ramp. Once the whole forklift is on the incline, you can drive with the forks in travel position. When traveling down the ramp with a load, travel in reverse and look in that direction. If you aren't carrying a load, back up the ramp and drive forward down the ramp. Never turn on a ramp or the weight of the forklift may cause tip over. Only one forklift should be on the ramp at a time. A signal person posted where you load should keep you and other traffic clearly in view to assist you with backing on a ramp or hill. As with other pedestrians, don't lose sight of the signaler and run him over. Over 100 fatal forklift accidents occur every year. About half of those deaths resulted from lateral tip-over or longitudinal turnover. Lateral tip-overs occur when a forklift rolls on its side. Excessive speed on a turn, a load carried too high, or driving over debris are common causes for lateral tip-over. If you are in a forklift during a lateral tip-over, try to stay with the forklift. As the forklift tips, stay inside the overhead guard by holding the steering wheel and pushing yourself hard into the seat. The mast stops the forklift from rolling all the way over. Of course, it's safer and easier to avoid a lateral tip-over than it is to learn what to do when you're tipping. A longitudinal turnover occurs when a forklift falls between a dock and trailer. It can result when the rear wheels of the forklift catch on the edge of the bridge plate. The forklift drive wheels can push the trailer away from the dock, which opens a space between the dock and trailer. This is why it's critical to be sure the dock plate or bridge is properly in place and that the trailer or truck has its wheels chocked and other safety measures are in place so you can avoid trouble. If a truck is overloaded or the load out of the stability triangle, you can also suffer a longitudinal turnover. Since most sit-down forklifts have personnel restraints, wear your seatbelt. If you're involved in a longitudinal turnover, stay with the vehicle. As with lateral tip-over, keep your hands on the wheel, feet placed correctly on the floorboard, and push yourself into the seat. So far, we've covered specific guidelines and rules. Let's go over some basic safety rules. Some of them were covered before, but since you can only undo an accident on videotape, not in real life, it's worth hearing sound advice twice. Inform your supervisor of any mechanical problems, no matter how small, and only allow qualified mechanics to fix your equipment. Only trained personnel are allowed to operate a forklift. If your load blocks your vision, drive in reverse or use a signal person. Don't hurry over rough or hazardous surfaces. Blow your horn when approaching blind corners or intersections. Never use reverse as a braking method. Lift and lower loads as smoothly as possible to prevent tipping over. Any modifications to a forklift can change the rated capacity, how much weight it will hold. Don't add weight to the opposite end. Lighten the load instead. Use your safety belt and wear life vests if required when working over water. Always keep an eye out for pedestrians and never let anyone get between your lift and a stationary object. This program was designed to show you ways to operate a forklift in unusual or hazardous situations. It covered slippery surfaces, cluttered and congested areas, pedestrian areas, and loading docks, ramps, and trailers. Finally, we discussed some basic rules. Operating a forklift is serious business. It takes force to lift and carry a load, and as the operator of the forklift, you control that force. If you lose control of it, you can damage property, injure someone, or even take a life. Drive safely and respect the power and responsibility of your job.